time to make a title. Start with, use the text tool and type out a word. And these words will be the title. You can center with graphics selected by using these icons for align and transform. You could scale up your text by dragging this slider up and down or typing in a number. I'm going to select a new font. I'm going to use Arial and probably Arial Black, something that's thick for this effect that's going to be created. I'm going to select the center align for the text and then recenter it. This way, if any edits happen, such as maybe the word project wants to be killed from this title, everything will still be centered. But I want project to be there. I'm going to say that this is a 10-second effect. So 10 seconds out here on the timeline, zooming in to that sequence timeline and dragging it out. And back up a frame. There's the text for the title. It's time to add an effect. Going under Effects, look up Warp, and drag Wave Warp out to the text. Now our text is automatically wavy. We're going to go with a glitchy effect. To do that, let's play with the types of waves. Under Wave Type, this is a sine. If you select Square, you get this blocky looking effect. Let's play with some of the parameters. Height is the amount of separation. Width is how thick to make these cuts in the block. Thicker or thinner will give you this retro TV look, like that. I'm going with something thicker. Is it going to move through horizontally, or at 0 degrees, it's this vertical roll? I'm going to set it back to horizontal at 90. You can explore different degrees, such as 60 degrees, 45 degrees. See what will work with your project. I'm looking for this. How fast is under wave speed? Fast or slow, or even in the negative direction. I'm going to set the speed to 2. And I'm interested in increasing this height. And we'll see how this will play a role in our effect in a moment. The next part of this glitchy effect is to move this to the second video track and hold down the Option or Alt key and clone this wave effect to the track below. And from this one that's on the track below, I'm going to remove the wave warp by selecting it and pressing delete. This means underneath everything, you'll see a stabilized version. If you take a look at the eye right here, you can see the type of effect that's going to be created, this glitchiness. To complete this effect, zoom into the timeline. This effect is created by splicing up the top layer to show through to the bottom layer and vice versa. What does that mean? Pick up the razor tool, which is the C key, which is the C key, and if you hold down the Shift key, you can see that this razor tool will cut through both layers. Without that, the razor tool will only cut on the layer that you're hovering above, like this. But when you hold down the Shift key for the razor tool, it'll cut through everything. So I'm going to cut up these layers in a kind of random way, depending upon the speed and the look you're going for. You could spread this apart or make them very tight together. Going forward, maybe just 3 or 4 frames. Those are 3 frames, holding down the Shift key and cut. Going forward, maybe 2 frames. And hold down the Shift key and cut. Going forward, 4 frames, hold down the Shift key and cut. And keep on repeating this. Now, it's not a quick effect to create. You have to put the time in to make it look good. Some random moments, such as only one frame here, will help make the effect look less predictable. I'm going to mark my ins and outs, in here and out just right here. I and O key. I'm going to turn on loop right here. I'm going to pick up the move tool, which is the V key, and I'll quickly delete every other one. And let's look what we have. That's a lot more better as a glitch goes, right? Maybe this one gets a scale going big. This one's normal. And then maybe this one shrinks. And there's the glitch. And just keep on repeating this. Other things that can be done will be to maybe apply a different color to this text. And you could do that using tint, T-I-N-T, and just apply a tint to it. Giving that little flash of color in the middle of your title animation. I'm going to continue this pattern of cutting. I'm going to remove the tint from here just because I want the ability to use this as a Lumimat a little later on. When you're done, you'll get something like this. Yours will vary, of course, from artist to artist. We'll all make our decisions of what would be fun to do. I'm going to take these layers and combine them into a nested clip. And the reason for doing this will be so it could be used as a Lumimat maybe later on, but also just make it a little easier to manipulate when using this across a video. So selecting all these pieces, right click, nest, and I'll call it title sequence. I'll drag my title sequence one video track higher. This way beneath it, I could slip in the video of the ice cream. And this is what we got so far. Let me cut my video of my ice cream right here. And mark my out. We got a title that lives above the image in the background. Let's make this a track mat. And to do that, go back under Effects, type in Track, and this will make everything within the title sequence have the image of the background within it. Selecting the background, use video track number 2. There it is. Behind this, we could sneak in another video, but if we do that, we have to remember when we drag these tracks upward to re-establish the relationship of the track mat, because it's no longer track mat on video track number 2. This track mat has to know to use video track number 3 now. Whenever you're using a track mat, there might be this little glitch that pops up of the image moving over. So on top of that, apply a turbulent displace right on top of the video that has track mat and set the amount of turbulent displace down to 0. Though this looks very cool for this type of title, you might just want the pure effect like this.